The two polls that came out this morning, one of them was Quinnipiac University polling. Quinnipiac's analyst Mary Snow joins me now to talk about this some more. So for some people, Mary, there was this whole idea of got to get to 1% to get into the debate. But there are 5 candidates here for whom your polling showed something very interesting, and that is that if the election were held today, there are 5 candidates who fairly comfortably on a national level, from a popular vote perspective, indicate that they would win.
Correct. And we have the top 5 in our poll of Democrats in a hypothetical matchup against President Trump. All would win. The lead ranges from 16 percentage points to 9. So President Trump trailing all 5 top Democrats in our poll. And one thing we noticed, too, is that his level of support really didn't budge much. The ceiling in these matchups was 40%. Right. 38%, 40%, that was the range. 38% is his current record.
And as every American now knows after 2016, this doesn't account for the Electoral College, but the spread is big. Joe Biden has made the electability case for the other 4 people on that list who show as beating Donald Trump in the popular vote. That strengthens their case against Joe Biden. It
does, right? And in the Democratic field, Joe Biden is still the front runner at 32% among that field. But it does strengthen their electability case because he no longer has a huge lead. Mary, you're here from as a polling analyst, but we have a long history together as journalists, and you, like me, were a business journalist. You're an economic journalist, and that I don't know whether you influenced that question getting into this poll or not, but there was a question about the outlook of the economy, which is on everybody's mind right now, which is why asking questions about the election today, we may be in a very different situation in November of next year, but the economy is on everybody's mind. It is. And currently, we have 60% of people saying the economy is good or excellent. So that's the present indicator. But looking ahead, we find 37% of the registered voters see the economy getting worse. And that may not seem like a lot, but when you compare it to June, in the same poll, you see that there is a difference. A big difference. I mean, we went from 23% in June to 37% in August. And we also asked about whether or not voters felt that Donald Trump's policies were hurting or helping the economy. On that one, we had about 4 in 10 saying they believe his policies are hurting the economy. That is the highest level that he's had since being elected. Steve's talking about the amount of money and the amount of effort that Tom Steyer has put into reaching these polling thresholds. He certainly put a lot of effort and money into getting the donors. There was some criticism about how much he put into, how much money was spent to get every dollar that he got. Why does your poll not show any movement with Tom Steyer? One possibility is this is a national poll, right? And he's been focusing on early states. So this may not reflect what he is doing in those early states, but he did not register in 3 polls of ours since running. Interesting. Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.